Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving a full breakdown on Gaston, who is personally one of my favorite range guardians. As you can see, my Gaston is at 5 stars, level 50, and he's pretty far from his first astral level. As Gaston is a range guardian, he works well with a tank and a support. Moving on to his abilities. Gaston's core ability gives Gaston's heavy attacks the ability to wound the enemy, dealing 20% damage per second for 5 seconds. While the enemy is wounded, Gaston gains a higher crit chance. This basically means that when you are attacking an enemy, you would always want a wound to be on them, so you have a higher chance to crit. And because the heavies inflict that wound with a 100% guarantee, you want to be throwing them all the time. Gaston crits also purge defense buffs if they are inflicted with a wound. This is great as it means that the enemy will lose that defense, so when Gaston is attacking them, he becomes more effective. And because it only happens when the enemy is wounded, it's another reason for why you want to be throwing those heavy attacks. Now moving on to his special attack. His special ability is a single target special ability, and it fires an arrow which deals 300% damage, and if they are already wounded, he deals an additional 500% damage, so you never want to be throwing a special while the enemy is not wounded, as you will be losing out on a lot of damage. I will show you how to do this most effectively with gameplay later on in this video. Now, Gaston's signet ability is an interesting one. I believe that is very useful, and when he hits an enemy which is below 30% HP, he will receive an attack buff. The potency of this attack buff depends on your signet level. As you can see, my Gaston is only at level 11 out of 100, so he gains an attack buff that is just below 35%. However, when he's at level 100, this is 40% stronger, which I believe will make him go crazy. So if you have an option to pick up Gaston signets, I would recommend going for them. Now onto his talents. Gaston's talents uh, are not very good, or they're not the best, but most of the good stuff is in his abilities. But I use Insult to Injury, Intimidate, and Snare. Firstly, Insult to Injury means that each time Gaston purges a defense debuff, he inflicts a wound. At level 7, there is a 46% chance, but this feels more often as you're hitting them multiple times. But you can reliably get 5 bleeds easily. Now, Intimidate essentially means that when the enemy receives a defense debuff, but this only happens when he's close to the enemy. I'll show you how close you need to be and what happens when you're not close. Snare is his elite talent, and this causes Gaston's special ability to have an 80% chance to root his target. I'll show you this with the gameplay now. For the gameplay, I'm going to be showing you in chapter 3 of Hard. I'm just going to be bringing Gaston, so don't worry if he loses any health. And at first, I'm going to be showing you the defense down debuff he gains from the talent Intimidate. So as you'll notice, when I move near to the opponent, they'll be above the health bar, it'll say defense down. You can see. But when I move away, it removes itself. And again, and it removes itself. So I'm going to be showing you the damage without the bleed. Only 579 damage. That is really bad for a rank 5 Guardian. But once you put a bleed, it instantly goes up. 3,488. And Bell has a lot of defense buffs. So if you notice, I'm purging them. Let's see if I can do it now. It looks like I can't. It's a bit unlucky. So does D. Oh, I'm losing this health. Let's pull it back. So what else? If you notice, when I hit a Guardian that drops below 30%, I receive an attack buff. So I'll try to show you that now. Let's get someone down. Oh no, they're everywhere. As you can see now, my Gaston has an attack buff, so his damage is gone up. I'm trying to focus here. That's another big special. As you can see, I just purged a defense buff. So I told you before I was going to show you how to use that bleed more effectively. So what I do is I throw that heavy, and before the heavy hits, I quickly use my special. And by the time my special lands, the heavy would already travel to the opponent. I'll show you that now. So throw the heavy. Before it reaches, press the special. The wound is connected, and so is the special. I use the attack buff to nuke this guy down. So that's all you need to know for Gaston. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.